Hello and welcome to another edition of Jamaica Magazine. It's Tuesday, the 10th day in June. I'm your host, Adrian Atkinson. We have much lined up in store just for you, including ODPEM's early warning and communication system that is set and ready to be utilized in the event of a natural disaster. By the way, if you have not started your preparations for the hurricane season, please do not hesitate. With that said, we're heading to a break, and then the news will be right back after this break.
In 2023, many of you told us how pleasantly surprised you were with our first Transformations Expo. Be prepared to be amazed at Transformations Expo 2.0, People, Quality and Technology, coming from 2 locations at the National Arena in Kingston and simultaneously at the Montego Bay Community College from Thursday, June 19 to Sunday, June 22. Bring your friends, bring your family. I'm looking forward to meeting you.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, June 10, 2025. Government has acquired a tree relocation device, TRD, to help combat tree cover loss due to infrastructure development by safely digging up and moving mature trees to another location rather than destroying them. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness officially commissioned the equipment during a handover and demonstration exercise at Jamaica House on Monday. The first of its kind in the Caribbean, it was procured from Stewart's Industrial and will be operated by the Forestry Department. Prime Minister Holness says while his government places great emphasis on development and particularly infrastructure development, it does so with the understanding that it can't be at the expense of our natural assets.
And what we are here today marking in this ceremony is the acquisition of the capacity, there it is, to ensure that as we pursue the built environment, as we pursue the widening of our roads for our economic development and efficiency, we can also act as good stewards of our natural assets, our natural environment.
And this will be how we approach all major government developments. It will also be available to the private sector who are doing housing developments who wish to preserve trees with particular root structure.
The TRD has a reported success rate of 90 for trees surviving the relocation. Chief Executive Officer and Conservator of Forests Ainsley Henry welcomed its contribution to the reduction of tree loss, preservation of biodiversity, and support for sustainable development and resilience.
With this piece of specialized equipment, Jamaica is taking tangible steps towards reducing the loss of mature, climate-resilient trees, supporting urban greening and beautification, promoting biodiversity within developed spaces, strengthening our forest cover in a sustainable way, enhancing the livability of our urban areas, and improving the health and well-being of our citizens.
28 individuals from 15 countries have officially been granted Jamaican citizenship by the government. They were presented with their citizenship documents by the Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency, PICA, during a swearing-in ceremony held last Friday at the Police Officers Club in St. Andrew. Of the group, 12 received citizenship by naturalization, 7 by marriage, 2 by registration, and 7 by descent. Welcoming the new citizens, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang commended their decision and encouraged them to contribute meaningfully to Jamaica's ongoing development.
Choosing to become a citizen of a country is more than just a legal status. It certainly demonstrates your willingness to not only adhere to the rule of law and to respect the values and responsibilities and the legacy of our country, but to see our country as a place to live, work, and raise your family and be part of this greater family, Jamaican family.
Dr. Chang also highlighted that over the past 3 years, PICA has received nearly 18,000 applications for Jamaican citizenship, reflecting the country's growing global appeal as a place to call home. The newly rehabilitated Holland to Bounty Hall Road in Trelawney has been officially opened following maintenance works. The project was completed at a cost of $144.7 million under the National Works Agency's Maintenance of Secondary Roads program. Work on the 2.2-kilometer stretch involved drain cleaning, culvert installation, curb and channel drains, as well as asphalting. Minister with responsibility for works, Robert Morgan, opened the road last Friday.
Some persons from outside may look at it and say it's simple, but it is an artery that is connecting numerous communities, schools, churches. Just beside us, you see new housing developments taking place. You can see trucks with aggregate and various hardware material. Construction is booming in this section of Trelawney, which is what roads do. Roads open up communities for investment and development.
More than 15,000 residents are expected to benefit from the improvement to the roadway. The Holland to Bounty Hall Road is the second phase of the 3-segment, 20-kilometer Falmouth to Springvale Road rehabilitation project. Member of Parliament for Trelawney Northern, Tova Hamilton, says the third phase of the project, the Bounty Hall to Wakefield section, will be addressed under the Shared Prosperity through Accelerated Improvement to our Road Network, SPARK program.
And we're expecting that we will complete phase 3 in a timely manner. We're really waiting on the SPARK to happen, but in the interim I'm trying to see if I can eke out a little resources to do some maintenance.
And finally, the government will be seeking funds from the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, to help restore the historic Buxton building at the Mico University College. Mico is looking to raise $1.1 million or 161 million Jamaican dollars to restore the historic 135-year-old building. Constructed in 1890, the Buxton building is one of the oldest structures at Mico and has served as a cornerstone in the training of teachers at the institution, which is one of the oldest teacher training colleges in the Western Hemisphere.
Within Buxton House are stories of crucial decisions made, curricula developed, programs conceptualized, stories that need to be shared, first with our people and then with the rest of the world.
Following the restoration, the Culture Minister says it will be listed among the sites of history for heritage tourism.
That is why this restoration project goes beyond the alumni of the Mico University College to every single Jamaican. Because from its inception, the Mico College has provided a guiding light for the education of the children of the formerly enslaved.
Minister Grange was speaking at the official launch of the Buxton Building Restoration Project at the Heritage Park Quadrangle at Mico. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
We never know when a disaster might happen, but you can rest assured that the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management is equipped and ready to provide urgent information in any event. This next feature takes a look at one way in which the agency is doing this.
Jamaica is no stranger to the powerful forces of nature. From hurricanes and floods to landslides, these natural disasters remind us of the importance of readiness.
So we have mainstreamed in our governance disaster preparedness and readiness as a means of building resilience against the climate change issues that affect small island developing states like Jamaica.
In terms of the National Disaster Risk Management Framework, it's actually one of the best, if not the best in the America.
We are in the best place we have ever been in our history in terms of our state of readiness.
When disaster strikes, all eyes turn to the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM. In a crisis, effective and reliable communication is of utmost importance. That's why the government, through ODPEM, has forged a partnership with the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, to strengthen the island's emergency communication system. The ODPEM-JICA collaboration aims to improve the emergency communication infrastructure in Jamaica by installing wireless communication systems and relevant equipment, thereby contributing to swift and robust communication between first responders and government offices to respond efficiently to emergencies or a disaster.
Decom management is Spanish Town Fire Station. This is a radio check. How do you read? Over.
We are putting in place the necessary infrastructure for us to respond to these disasters. We would have already put in place all the necessary radios in their various locations. The Jamaica Fire Brigade, the police, every arm of government is equipped to communicate before and after. And this is a game changer for the people of Jamaica.
You don't want a system where you are relying on cell phones for communication. We saw what happened in Beryl, where a lot of the cell towers went, and there was communication blackout in some areas across the country. What you want to ensure is that there are redundancy to your communication, and our radio network gives us that kind of redundancy. In terms of the design, it is robust enough that allows us that if one of the nodes go down, we're still able to communicate across the country, and it gives us roughly probably 98% coverage across the island.
Changing from an analog to a digital system is not an easy feat. However, with the development of the Project Implementing Unit, the ODPEM is sure the DCOMs and Early Warning System EWANs will be effective in strengthening Jamaica's responsiveness. Coupled with the island's Early Warning System EWANs, the DCOMs are expected to effectively bolster Jamaica's responsiveness to natural disasters.
The objective of the project for the improvement of emergency communication system in Jamaica is to enhance Jamaica's public safety and our national emergency communication system. This national emergency communication system is critical for the coordination of emergency and incident response among our various government entities or key government responders. It will allow for emergency agencies to communicate via one common platform. We would have installed radio equipment to include mobile radios, base station radios, and handheld radios at a number of government entities to include the Jamaica Fire Brigade, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the Ministry of Health, the local authorities, and a number of other entities island-wide. We would have installed early warning systems under the project across 2 parishes in 3 communities, namely Old Harbour Bay in St. Catherine and along the Bog Walk to Angels Corridor in St. Catherine, and also in Port Maria, St. Mary. This, with the installation of this early warning system, it will create that alertness that it is a multi-hazard system. So it will be able to alert residents, commuters, persons who utilize these areas, these urban centers, for example, Port Maria, about the pending hazards or threats that these communities will face.
This site is owned by Aerotel. They manage the telecommunication systems for Jamaica Civil Aviation Authority. Part of the benefit of co-locating at this site is that this site is designed for aeronautical purposes. So they have a very high standard, especially where power is concerned, and also for protection against lightning. And also provides quite a bit of redundancy just by virtue of its location However, our system is designed to run entirely on a battery system, and pretty much we have our systems charged by their power. Should a case happen where we lose power, whether from GPS or their power system, our battery system will allow us to have service for up to 5 days. This site here in Coopers Hill provides coverage for the entire corporate area. So all of the radios in this area will be connected to this repeater site here at Coopers Hill, and that's another advantage that we have at this location.
The DCOM system will also help several stakeholders within the National Disaster Risk Management structure to mobilize and mitigate crises.
During the implementation phase of the project of the DCOM system, firefighters were basically embedded with a team of engineers that came down from Japan to install the equipment across the island. DCOM system that is now at ADPEM is manned by firefighters. So that's the rock and the knock, as is referred to. It's currently manned by firefighters, and these firefighters will remain at ADPEM, manning the system for as long as it's necessary. What we have done with this system is to make it a part of our daily communications. Once we're out in the field conducting, whether it's rescue or conducting firefighting operations, then the team members can communicate back to Central in terms of giving updates, live updates as to what is happening. If there is need for additional resources, that can be communicated in a reliable way, unlike what we have now.
We're able to introduce it as part of the communication platform during burial, and we were able to see some results. So it's a good thing.
The DCOM system is here to build resilience, plan for natural disasters, activate response efforts, and mitigate the impacts of disasters while maintaining an active and reliable communication channel.
Whatever you do, don't be this guy. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your lifeguard speaking. For your safety and that of those around you, please listen carefully to what I'm going to say next. Whenever possible, swim at a beach with a lifeguard on duty or where signs indicate that swimming is safe. 2. This should probably be number 1, but learn how to swim. 3. Stay in the designated swimming area. 4. Read and follow all guidelines and never swim alone. 5. If you fall into difficulty, raise your hand in the air and call for help. 6. Pay attention to local weather conditions and forecasts. 7. If you observe someone in distress, tell a lifeguard, or if you don't see one, phone 119 or 110 and request a Coast Guard. And before you swim off with this information, my friend Bernard has another tip for you.
Everywhere you go, and you see a fishing vessel like those small ones up there in the harbor, anywhere you go and see those small vessels, that's the safest area to swim.
I wonder who that somebody be. No, sir. Let me look for my glasses. Oh, that somebody look like right, sir. It's Lottie, what go on? Me glad for see you, right? Although things never go on for you, America, me glad say you there.
Yes.
Lift your head high.
Yes.
Stay out of trouble.
Yes.
And you can have a fresh start back home.
All right, Mr. D. Thanks, you hear?
Let's all work together for a fresh start back home.
This message is brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
Thanks for staying with us on Jamaica Magazine. Let's now turn our focus on how the government's social housing program is impacting lives and opening doors for vulnerable families across Jamaica.
Be able to go in a perfect home.
The old one is nice and tall. You know what, the other day when I got the key, I came in here and I prayed 3 times a day. Give the Almighty thanks for allowing me to have something like this.
Miss Chisholm is among several Jamaicans benefiting from the new social housing program NSHP that's dedicated to elevating the living conditions of the country's poor and disadvantaged population. It's a strategic program by the government to broaden opportunities for housing solutions and ownership among this group. As of January 31, 2025, the NSHP has completed approximately 300 housing units benefiting over 968 individuals across Jamaica.
Our target is 6,000 of these houses. We believe that if we were to build 6,000 social housing units in Jamaica, we could make a significant impact on the number of persons who are living in the worst substandard conditions.
The program falls under the Social Inclusion Governance Model, and implementation of the NSHP started in 2018 by Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness. The program provides not just quality, affordable and sustainable housing, but overall improved living conditions.
What the government has done is to set the highest standards for social housing. And when you look at this house, you can see that it is well constructed. It will stand up to almost any storm. And we expect that to be the case because it's a fully concrete structure. Built to last.
Through the NSHP, the beneficiaries are enjoying the security of a safe, decent place within which to take shelter.
I'll be feeling much better, having a nice sleep and everything like that.
I'm feeling so, words fail to express my gratitude.
Oh.
I thank each and every single one that helps me that I can live freely in my home.
Where we're living, we can't even move in the room properly. We'll bounce up. If the light is gone, we have to stay put because we have no way. It's a small place. When the time gets cold, my son will get sick. If the rain falls, the rain will come in and it's just all over. He will sick like for months, can't go to school. Now my kids, they're all happy with my daughter going to postpartum. It's CXC time. Trust me, she have a comfortable place to study, a well-needed house. Thank you so much.
Every Jamaican should have access to a good standard of shelter. They should have protection from the element. It should be a place of refuge and security, a place where they can live comfortably and raise their family.
Another benefit of the new social housing program is the pride that comes with fulfilling a lifelong, sometimes intergenerational goal.
This is going to break intergenerational poverty. This is an asset that your children can inherit.
Oh my goodness, gratitude is a must! Talk for me now!
I can't even explain myself right
You don't need to,
now.
your smile does it all.
To all the persons who is a part of the new social housing program that made today possible, we want to say thank you very much We really appreciate what you have done for our family. Thank you very much.
This is a very emotional moment, and I can see that your daughter is overcome, and indeed the entire family. And indeed everyone here who is participating in this ceremony. We at the social housing, the new social housing program, we are very pleased to be able to make a transformational difference in your life, and that's what the program is about. Social housing is an important part of what we call the social safety net. It is the establishment of a standard below which no Jamaican citizen should live.
The program is funded by the Government of Jamaica and administered through the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. Applicants and beneficiaries are pulled from all 63 constituencies.
The applications, well, the recommendations coming to us from the various members of Parliament. We do an assessment on the ground. We interview the prospective applicants, and the assessment includes the engineer's report and also the social report, and ensure that the beneficiary meets the criteria that has been set.
The report then goes to a multi-sectoral committee for review and approval. Those that are approved go on to the procurement process for bidding by contractors, then to the procurement committee for review after being shortlisted, then final approval for construction to begin.
Thank God, I feel many times better in life.
I overjoyed because I never knew I would live in a concrete structure with a deck top over my head.
The government is convinced that if the country is to achieve its 2030 goal of developed nation status, it needs to cater to the interest of persons from all social classes, especially the vulnerable. The mission is ensuring that programs and policies are in place to protect the poor and the marginalized, and that all citizens have the opportunity to influence development and governance at the local and national level.
We go through any terrain, any weather, climb up any hill, make our way down into any valley to deliver the houses. We build houses all over Jamaica in all conditions, and it is all for the benefit of the people of Jamaica.
I'm Karina Powell-Hood. We've been planning for months, and now we're ready to share more of the essence of who we are. At the JCF Transformations, People, Quality and Technology Expo 2.0, coming June 19 to 22nd at the National Arena in Kingston and at the Montego Bay Community College. Come, see, experience what you've been hearing about your transforming police force.
And that's it for today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. Remember, sometimes good things fall apart, so better things can come together. Do join us again tomorrow for another informative show. In the meantime, visit our website, gis.gov.jm, for more news you can use. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Stay safe.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.